Usually on Sundays, you like to sort of take it easy. Normally, you wouldn't even shave, right? Just like I have. But coming on live to discuss about the most recent, this is not the most recent, but talking about the data, the statistics with regards to what's happening with the IRCC, what's happening with the specific draws. That is not, or rather, that was not part of the plan. But here I am. Here the plan is, and at this point of time, this is just one moment. I'm just trying to add something which is not getting added, which is part of the Instagram. For some reason, Instagram didn't get added. Just trying to add that on so that we can get that started as well. Anyways, starting, not starting, doesn't matter. So the point is, while we are discovering, right, trying to, someone is behind you. Oh my God. Okay, thankfully nobody is behind me. You scared me for a bit, man. Somebody said here, somebody is behind you. Someone is behind you. Okay, I'm not sure who you are looking at, but you're freaking me out. Halloween is still a few days away, man. Don't freak me out already. But the point is, why this sudden stream? So I tweeted just now. I'm not sure how many of you have seen this, and this is because while we were talking, while I was doing this consultation today, and we were trying to figure out some possibilities for CEC draws, and obviously I have always been forever hopeful. You all know that, right? And I keep saying that more draws should happen. That there are 10 to 15 to 20,000 invitations more that should be in the bag with IRCC. Why is IRCC not issuing those draws, those invitations for CECs? That has been always something that you've been scratching your head with. And then something happened. Something happened in the sense like we went into trying to figure out where that issues might be. And somebody told me that the best way to find out where that issue might be is to figure out, I'm sorry, something is continuing to be an issue. Yeah, okay, looks like better now. So we try to figure out where the whole issue is, and then of all the things, somebody said, why don't you take a look at the immigration minister's transition binder, which was recently released. And when I was going through the binder, and then it was a eureka moment. Of course, one of my colleagues, Mandeep Lidhar, he also sort of had a bit of an insight, and we discussed about this. And he said, okay, why are the draws not happening? Why has CEC gone into a total dead zone? And I think it was there staring at us all this while, just all without really giving you context. So the context is here, right? I mean, you already know this is the immigration levels plan. Nothing new here. You've already seen it. This is 2025's immigration levels plan. Federal economic priorities, you know, it was 41,700. In Canada focus, you know, it is 82,980. You know, there are 10,000 for the economic pilots, right? The RCIP, the AIPs, the agri-food, etc. So AIP is different, but the other pilots are all there. And then you also know that the PNPs are there, 55,000. The total of all of this comes to 232,000, something of that sort. We've already discussed this. You already know. I'm sure people who have been waiting, you have been also looking at this for a very, very long time. So what am I talking about? What is this whole thing about? Well, you know what? We looked at the transition binder. And in the transition binder, on the very first page, it says regional programs 2025 admission target for regional program is 122,000. And I'm like, how the hell did they get to 122,000? Because this number here is only 55,000. Okay, so if they are saying it includes the Quebec immigration, so Quebec immigration is 34,000. So 55,000 plus 34,000, it's still roughly about 55, 34, about 90,000. Then it says Atlantic immigration program. Okay, fair enough. Then you have Atlantic immigration, 5,000. Then it says some other regional priorities as well, right? Okay, the other regional priorities are also here, but it is still not adding to 122,000. It is still only coming at about 95,000. So where is the remaining 27,000 coming from? And again, you're like scratching your head. And then you know what? It's all there. It's in there. It's written in there. it says then the next one was federal programs. The 2025 admissions target for federal program is 99,180. This is where IRCC has become sneaky on us, right? Without making any announcements, without sending out any those memos that they send out, without making any kind of advisory, quietly they reduced the federal targets to 99,180. And you will say, well, it is not reduced, it is the same. Yes, look at this number, 41,700 right? And in Canada Focus, 82,980. This is what forms the FHS, Federal High Skilled Category. The total of this is 82,980 plus 41,700 is roughly what, 123, 124,000, 124,000. So if it is 124,000, why is IRCC suddenly saying that the federal program target is 99,180? Because they have removed 27,500 and given it to the PNPs, which they never told anybody. It has just quietly been included in the transition binder to Lena Diab. And Lena Diab, they just released it, right? And they just wanted you to find out. And obviously, this has been released more than a month back. And I'm thinking, why the hell didn't this occur to us earlier? It's here. It says PNPs all 55,000 plus 27,500 from in Canada Focus. That's it. There you go. Very quietly. So all those media releases that they have been announcing, they have been making, and they've been saying that we are adding more slots for the PNPs, right? Lena Diab made this conference very recently in Nova Scotia, trying to sort of say we are giving more slots to Nova Scotia, more slots to British Columbia, more slots to Alberta, more slots to Manitoba. And all this while you would think, where the hell are they getting all these quotas from? They don't have, right? The quotas are fixed. The targets are always fixed, right? This is what the targets are, always fixed, 232,000. I mean, there is a range, of course, it's not fixed. There is a range, but they pretty much work within that range. Where are these extra quotas coming from? And then there is precedence, right? There is precedence from 2021. In 2021 also, they reduced the express entry targets to almost half because they had to accommodate for refugees that were coming in from Afghanistan. And then they had to also increase the TR to PR quota. Out of the blues, they made the TR to PR announcement. TR to PR was never there. So in the middle of the year, out of nowhere, TR to PR came. So now they had to make accommodations for the TR to PR, 90,000 people that they took, actually more than 90,000. So where were that 90,000 going to be fitted, right? Again, Express Entry was the one that had to, sacrifice. And once again here, because they had to introduce these PNP quotas, they had to fix these PNP quotas somewhere. Again, 27,500 slots have been taken away from Express Entry CECs. So CECs, if you are a Canadian experience class and you have been wondering why the hell am I not getting invited, why the scores remain so high, why are they issuing these draws of only 1,000 invitations, why are they not inviting me? I have struggled, I have worked, I have studied, I have paid the taxes, I have really slogged my backside off, and why the hell am I not getting invited? Well, because the PNPs also have to be a piece. You see, Mark Miller, what he did was he cut the quotas of PNPs by 50% because he wanted to punish provinces. Why did he want to punish the provinces? Provinces refused to accommodate refugees or refugee claimants, sorry, not refugees, refugee claimants. And those refugee claimants were really crowding the cities of Montreal, in Toronto, in Ontario, in different cities here. So he wanted to spread out these claimants, and none of the provinces were willing to take them in, saying we don't need extra people, we don't have any room, we don't have the infrastructure, we don't want more people. So Mark Miller then punished them in a way by saying, okay, if you don't need people, then you don't need PNP quotas, so I'm going to cut your PNP quotas by half. And that's how he played that game. But obviously then things have changed, the tables have turned. That was last year, this is this year. The new government, or rather the new administration came, new minister, new prime minister. New prime minister was playing a different kind of a game. He wanted to balance everything out. He wanted to sort of play goody-goody with all the provinces. He wanted to, patch up with all the differences that have that had cracked up earlier, and he wanted to sort of make sure everybody was happy. And this was like your Suraj Barjatya's ki Hum Saath Saath Hain wala kind of a film, right? I'm sure you get know the what I'm trying to say. You know that. So this is what he was trying to do. And obviously, if you want to appease all these provinces, there had to be some give and take. So very gladly, what they had taken, they were slowly giving away. But to give that away, they had to take from somewhere, right? They don't have that supply to give it from anywhere. So CECs, you have been sacrificed on the altar of bhaichara or brotherhood with the provinces. That's what you should know. I thought you should know. Sunday evening, nothing better to do but to sort of come out and tell you this, and also to tell you that now we have the remainder of 2025. So what's going to happen in the remainder of 2025? Because this situation is not looking very, very nice. Where is my screen? Here is my screen. Yeah. So this is what has happened so far. ITAs issued till date, about 73,000 invitations have been issued already. Out of 73,000 invitations, 21,850 ITAs have been issued for Canadian experience class. Now, obviously, a lot of you who also enjoy working with the data, you would also know that most of the ITAs that get issued in the second half of the year, towards the end of the year, are usually from the 2026 quotas. Why? Because, for example, if IRCC is going to issue an ITA today, obviously, by the time you will complete your documentation, you have 60 days. By the time IRCC will complete the processing, they will have an average processing of 6 months. It would well be within 2026, and hence the targets are from 2026. You know it, I know it, we understand that. So we understand the map. They have already conducted large number of draws for francophone healthcare, and education. When I'm saying large number, I mean the total quota for the priorities was only 41,000. 41,000 is not ITAs. A lot of times, even consultants and even lawyers sometimes confuse this because they don't understand the quotas that you see on the immigration levels plan. Where is my screen? Please come here. This quotas that you see on your screens has got nothing to do with ITAs. This is number of people. And when you have ITAs, one successful ITA which gets approved can have multiple people. Yes or no? Yes, because it could be spouses, partners, could be children, could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people have children, right? So it could be multiple people in the same ITA. So please never ever confuse the number of the immigration targets with the number of ITAs. Going back, if you go back to this, 21,850 ITAs have been issued this year for Canadian experience class. Now, also you must remember, and we spoke about this right in the month of January this year, that they had a lot of applications in their inventory which they were processing from 2024. Means if those applications were still being processed when they were all being processed in 2025, they would count towards the permanent residence target of 2025. Means all the targets that you see on the screen, which I showed you, keep going back and forth, so please bear with me. All these targets that you're seeing on your screen have already been met. All these targets have already been met. So whatever ITAs are being issued already now are all from 2026. Okay. IRCC has also been super duper fast in processing the applications. I mean, my clients have been receiving their final decision and their P1s and COPRs in a super fast lightning speed. Like we submit the application within 40 days, 45 days, bang, we already have a P1 for this. So it sort of confuses you. So those are the applications which we have gotten the invitations in August, September, June, July, August, September. Those are all getting finalized, all of them getting finalized this year itself. Having said that, the indication is that for next year, so this immigration levels plan is for 2025, 2026, 2027, still here, which was announced last year in the month of October. My mark mila 24th of October, I think that was the date. On the 4th of November, IRCC or Mark, it's not going to be Mark Carney for sure. It's going to be probably Lena Diab. I'm hoping it's the immigration minister who announces, but new immigration quotas and targets for 2026 will be announced. there is a high possibility that the numbers or the targets are reduced, because the anti-immigration sentiment is very, very, very high right now. I mean, I can't even tell you how high the anti-immigration sentiment is. And with this high immigration sentiment, either they will keep, I mean, don't expect an increase. Either they will keep the targets the same, or they might even reduce it teeny weeny bit. I don't expect a very big reduction, but there would be some reduction for sure. And if that reduction happens, then okay, somebody's saying, yeah, I just cannot figure out why this happens every single time that the video starts lagging. uh, I've tried every single thing, trust me. I'm even doing ethernet cable, I'm doing everything, high wi-fi, everything. I mean, speed test, done everything. I have to, yeah. Yeah, sorry guys, I know there is a lag. I just can't figure out why that it is. Tried everything. My internet connection is really, really bad. My connection is not really, really bad. I trust me when I'm telling you that. The speed test shows me high, super high speeds. Never, haven't been able to figure out why I get that kind of a lag. Hopefully, I'll try and figure it out towards this week as well. However, coming back to the point, 4th of November, when they issue out the new immigration levels plan, there is a high possibility that the numbers are slightly reduced. And most importantly, PNP draws, or rather the PNP quotas, should be reinstated or will be higher than last year. Last year was 55,000. Definitely, the PNP quotas are, this was the number. It was supposed to be, here it is showing 55,000 for 2026 as well. Okay, you can see that, right? 2026, it shows 55,000, 100%. And I can absolutely, connected to the LAN cable. My friend, that is connected to the LAN cable. I mean, how do I show you the cables over here? Trust me, I've tried everything. Change your router. I have actually got a new router today morning itself, and it's still the same. My speed is showing 700 Mbps. It's not slow, but I mean, I've tried Cloudflare, I've tried everything. Anyways, so coming back to the point, sorry to digress. And the situation here is that if this quotas are at 55,000, with this 55,000 ITAs, it is going to be this number of 55,000 PNPs will go up. And if this goes up, that number has to be taken from somewhere, and that is probably going to be from In Canada Focus, which is already reduced for next year. It is at 75,000. It is probably going to go lower because they would have to accommodate those extra PNP targets anywhere. And with that number going lower, the point is, and the point of the entire video is, that the outlook for Express Entry CECs is grim. It's, and I hate saying this because, I mean, this is not fear mongering. For God's sake, stop saying that, because that is the last thing I want. Hey, it is my business, right? At the end of the day, even I am worried. Even I'm thinking, what the hell is going to happen? Who's going to sign up? Who's going to take up consultations? Who's going to, pay for the service fee? Even I'm worried. So this is not an issue that you think only you are worried about. I mean, there are other people who worry for different things. But at the end of the day, the point is that Express Entry CECs are going to have a difficult year as we move forward. So if you are not increasing your scores, if you are not getting into the categories, if you are not getting that foreign work experience, if you're not going to get onto the French bandwagon, you will lose out. Okay. As of right now, there are more than 25,000 people with score of 501 and above. And already the low 500s is looking difficult. I mean, this year, the lowest CRS score we have seen is only 518. Even 515 did not happen. Can you imagine? So anybody who's at a higher score, somebody says, any chance of 521? Well, yes, 521 is a very positive score, very good score. But will it happen? Will it not happen? Now, this is anybody's guess. Now, for the remainder of this year, we have October gone almost. The next draw will hopefully be on probably 29th, 28th, 29th. So in 2 days' time, we should see a draw. So tomorrow we should have a PNP draw. If there is a PNP draw tomorrow, which I'm hoping there should be, then you should have a draw on Tuesday or Wednesday. Now, are they going to do a category draw, or are they going to do a CEC draw? If they do a CEC draw, it might not be for very big number. It might be for a very small number. Again, just because they have to keep up with this number. And this theory, I guess, will get proven very quickly. I could be wrong, and I will be so happy if I'm wrong. I mean, because that would just give me hope as well. But if I'm not wrong, this theory gets proven. It will tell you that on 4th of November, when you see the new immigration levels plan, the numbers will be lower. And if the numbers are lower, it all depends on how low. And the reason why I'm telling you guys all this is so that you can prepare, plan, and start figuring out your strategy. Of the so many people that I talk to every single day, and I try to tell them that, you know, maybe Canada, that maybe you need to go back. Maybe you need to get that foreign experience done. Maybe it is a better thing to do. And people are so reluctant in using or taking that suggestion. Why? Because I understand going back to your country after having spent so much of time and years over here, it feels like you have lost, that you are a loser, that you have given up, that it did not work out. And then, of course, there are those stupid individuals who make all these kind of TikTok reels and videos saying, if you will leave Canada and go, you will never be able to come back. What kind of rubbish advice is that? So these people who will not leave and go should continue staying in Canada, screw their chances for getting any chance at all, and of course stay what, illegally. What should they do? What and also people forget that once your status has expired and you continue living in Canada, what are you doing here? You're here as a visitor. So you're paying from your savings. And don't you dare work on cash salaries, because if you haven't heard, CBSA has very actively been conducting raids. They have recruited more and more officers. The enforcement is going to go up. Already in Edmonton, Calgary, etc., areas in Alberta, the raids have started on construction sites. So if you're thinking that you will be living in Canada on a visit visa or a visitor record and you will do cash jobs, boy oh boy, you might have some very shocking incidents to come across too. Please don't do that. Please, just don't mess it up for yourself. Instead, figure out a better way of doing it. And again, don't buy those programs, those agents and then consultants and people who are trying to tell you diploma for what is that, healthcare, pharmacy assistant diploma, early childhood care diploma. What rubbish! I mean, those diplomas have zero value. Okay, all they can help you is probably get a job, but then you don't need to do those diplomas, those pathetic diplomas from Canada. You can do it online from your own home country. Do it from India, do it from Mexico, do it from, I don't know, from African continent, do it from any of the Arab continents, do it from any of the Asian. Anybody who is giving you or offering you those programs online, do that, pay there, and you'll be paying so much more, so much less than doing these programs here who people are selling for 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 10,000. There are some colleges who are even, shame on them when they sell these kind of programs for so much of money, and just and who do you blame? You guys actually even buy those programs. You are even willing to subscribe to them. And again, next year, okay, what is, somebody's confused. We are confused with In Canada Focus. My friend, please do not be confused. This In Canada Focus means Canadian Experience Class. In Canada Focus is in Express Entry, Federal High Skilled, and these are all Canadian Experience Class categories, right? So people who are, when you see In Canada Focus, that directly means it is Canadian Experience Class in Express Entry. That's what it means. You yourself went back to India. I didn't have to, my friend. I made it happen to me. I made it happen for me, made it work for me. And unfortunately, now I have an OCI. So yeah, it doesn't really work. But try a better one next time. Yeah? This one is pretty bad. It doesn't work. So I'm not sure what you were trying to say, but definitely work. How many pay stubs I need to submit for PR file? I'm working since last 2 years for company. And I mean, I try and submit at least 6 months pay stubs for each year of work. Try and submit as much as possible. That is the best way to do it. Nothing here. So the point I'm trying to tell you, or I'm trying to make over here, my friends, is that if you can go back, please. If not, then God help. I'm not sure which direction this is going to go. But again, I'm digressing a bit. It says video is real-time data. Small packet misses. It's tough to resolve. As an engineer, a packet could be lost in the middle of anywhere beyond a router. I appreciate it. Thank you. But I mean, again, not a solution, right? Your internet is just like present immigration plans, no accuracy. I agree. Horrible. And I need better planning there as well. Probably try and figure that out. Thank you so much. What else is there? Change your router. We did that. Having better GPU, CPU, lightweight, or commercial streaming software. My friend, I'm using the this lightest commercial streaming software available, that is StreamYard. I couldn't have a more powerful GPU and CPU right now. Trust me, I love technology myself. So yeah, no other, I guess, near the main router, which is receiving the internet, I'm using Ethernet cable, my friend, Ethernet. So even if I'm near the router, it's not really going to help. But actually, I'm just across the wall with the router, so that's not too far away. But anyways, thank you guys. Thank you for helping me. Somebody else said French is the only way to go, Kubeir. I have started one show. Well, that's awesome. That is the way. I mean, I agree. Probably jumping onto the trades. Okay, again, this is something before I go, before I have to tell you. Obviously, 4th of November, we will have so much more clarity in terms of the new immigration levels plan and which direction that is going. And in the meantime, bear in mind, if you have been banking on occupations such as cooks, and there are some other occupations as well, but because I'm not sure, I wouldn't want to, take those occupations and name them specifically, because I don't really know whether they will happen or not. But if you're targeting any specific occupations, please note that IRCC is also keeping an eye on these occupations, and they would continue to monitor whenever they get an influx of certain occupations. So cooks, for a fact, is on their radar. And that has been one of the reasons why they haven't even conducted the trade draws that they should have conducted for this year. Because whenever they are conducting a trade draw, most of the people who are getting this, okay, somebody's saying use a VPN. Let's try the VPN also. I mean, I have the VPN. Just switch it on for sake of seeing if it really works. And if it gets slowed down even further, then don't blame me, right? But the comments today is, okay, somebody say it's happening only with YouTube. Not sure if that's the case. I think it's happening with all connections. So yeah, right? I've switched on the, let's see if it helps. There you go. It's even actually, it's gotten even. All right, so we will figure that out. Very quickly going to answer some of the questions. Guys, please don't do super chats. I'm not going to be able to do any of these questions today. So very quickly going to run through them. Actually, now we have gone even slower with the VPN on. So you shouldn't have switched on the VPN. But Ontario applied, work permit expired, used a fake extension, continued working, will impact Ontario nomination or future PR application. No, it does not impact your nomination or your future application. Just make sure that you always stay on a valid status in Canada. Otherwise, that could be an issue. But having used this extension is not going to create any problems. Do not worry. I got a job under education category, but I don't have a BEd degree. Will it be a problem for employment requirements? No, really, it will not be a problem at all. IRCC, I'm just trying to find that screenshot if I can still find it. IRCC long time back had issued one, or rather it's still on there. I have it here. Let me see if I can share it with you. Open. So long time back, IRCC handled VPN is not helping. So need to switch off this VPN for so that. Sorry guys, I really am sure that is happening, but we'll show you this screen. Got it. If you can find it, it says the applicant does not need to demonstrate that they meet the employment requirements listed in the occupational description. This is for the work experience that is being evaluated. So that is the reason that you're worried about. That is not really a problem, because in most cases, they would not be assessing the employment requirements. And as long as you're able to prove that how did you get the job and you have some sort of qualification or background in order to get this job, you should be fine. Guys, please don't do super chat. I will not answer all the questions that you guys are asking at this point of time. This was going to be a very short video on a Sunday afternoon. So do you think 527 has any chance, or should I apply for extension? I think 527 has a great chance. It's just, I don't know how many invitations IRCC is going to issue for the following draws to come. Could continue with 1,000 ITAs, could increase it by 500 at most. I feel there could be another, I mean, after this new revelation, I think there could be another 3,000 to 5,000 ITAs that they might want to issue out at this point of time. But again, let's see. We're already towards the end of the month. So 2 more months to go and probably 4 draw cycles to go, 4 worst case 5, best case 5, not worst, best case 5. So let's see how many they apply, how many they send out. And yeah, if you have any chance to improve your scores, then do that. Nothing here. Am I eligible to claim 50 points pest control? Pest control is not really a certificate of qualification. That is just a license. In some provinces, you might be able to, if you're able to get a certificate of qualification. But I've seen IRCC refusing applications of applicants who have taken pest control license as certificate of qualification. So license by itself might not work unless you're able to explain through the regulatory body that they are treating it as a certificate of qualification. Postgraduate spouse open work permits be affected November 4th? No. So postgraduate work permits as of right now will continue. I mean, they might come up with a new eligible programs that will be eligible for postgraduate work permit, or the list of that might be amended, but I don't see that as an issue. Spouse open work permit, there are already restrictions, so extensions are not impacted, but you have to be eligible to apply for a spouse open work permit. Can a company sponsor their own owner director under Francophone mobility work permit? What is the requirement? Well, yes, of course they can sponsor. I mean, it's not about sponsoring, it's about them giving out. So if you're saying you start your own company and give yourself a job offer, well, that's an interesting one. I haven't seen anybody doing it yet. And given the circumstances, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to. I haven't tried that. It's a good question, but I don't see anything in the book which says you can't do it. So yeah, you can. I missed to disclose my sister's info as a family received ITA. As it's safe to do so now, submit during EAPR. Do I need to do LOE for this? Well, how do you not disclose your sister's info? This is strange. Yeah, raise a web form, let them know. I mean, I'm quite strange. How do you miss out, information about your sister? How do you do that? Anyways, what you can do is family information form, IMM 5406, complete that form, sign it and send it to IRCC, letting them know that you made a mistake so that they can update the section of your family information. I have CRS score of 536. Can I get CEC ITA? I mean, I think for sure. 536 is a good score. I mean, they've been conducting draws at 534. So 536 should have an excellent chance of getting through once they start the draws again. I think probably next week, if not worst case, probably a couple of weeks after that. But yes, whenever the next draw, I think 536 should. I don't even know why you have that question. I got an ITA from Ontario Master Stream last year. My file is in DIP from March. No progress after that. ITA from 25 getting nomination. Any hope for old files? I don't know what the hell Ontario is doing. We have sent out many letters, requests, petitions, reached out to the ministry, reached out to Ontario's office. They have not said anything. The only reason why they are holding back is because of the amount of fraud that was discovered in 2024. People running fake payrolls, fake job offers, fake language test results, fake education documents. And Ontario has discovered so many instances of that fraudulence that they put a hold onto the entire batches of the processing. They are still sorting it out. They are issuing out nomination, but it's at a very small, it's trickle, if you want to call that. But no, I have no idea as to how much time they would take. There's nothing here. Right. Ending today's stream with a very sincere apology for this lag. I'm not sure what the problem is. I promise to find a professional who can help me understand what the hell is going on with my internet connection. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate your taking the time to watch this again. And thank you. And I shall see you next time. Until then, stay forever hopeful.